It is Monday, and you know what time it is. Time for a little bit of the shop talk. And by popular request, and when I say popular request, I had a handful of people that were asking when we were going to do our next Q&A, which, by the way, you can always come to whatever the topic is. You can always join us and ask your questions, and we'll get to them. But in particular, we're going to dedicate this one to just doing screen printing Q&A type stuff. So be sure to get your questions in. And if you can't catch us live for any reason, you can always leave a comment down below. Leave your questions there, and I'll get to you generally pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What are you laughing about?
Nothing. I love you. You're pretty.
No, when it comes to the YouTube, I mean, I'm
No.
always on top of the comments. What were you gonna say?
I'm just saying we don't always get to everybody.
You know, I get to everyone that that I see when it pops up in the notification. Sometimes it doesn't pop up, and I have to go to the comment section and see what I have missed, and then just kind of catch up there. Because there are, I mean, at this point, we're getting close to 30,000 subscribers, and being able to answer every single question is getting harder these days.
I just mean in the live.
Well, I mean that too.
All right. Well, anyways,
We
we've
can-
got like people saying hi.
Oh, okay, cool. You want to go ahead and switch it over, and we'll just start saying hello to everybody, or do you want to wait a little bit?
Well, I don't know. You're messing with the tradition.
Okay, we'll say hello. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see.
Well, then
No.
get after it. What you waiting on?
I don't know. You threw me like for a curve, but I'm not good with
Sign
curve.
Commanders, what's up? Bad Brad,
I hate
how you
you.
doing? I'll let you get the next two.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Jim. One shot. Scoop. I just moved the camera. Young Mo. Whoa. Whoa.
What's up, Mo?
Okay, that's it.
But yeah, we appreciate y'all joining us, and we're going to just kind of answer some questions and hang out, see how everybody's week has been going. We'll let you know what's been going on around our shop.
Fun fact: when we do Q&As, this means because we didn't have time to think of a topic.
Actually thought of a topic, but I had some people that wanted to tune in for a specific Q&A, so hopefully they do tune in for the Q&A. So
All right. Well, I regret
yeah.
wearing this thing, so I'm gonna take it off. It's like in my eye.
We'll take it off. Shannon's wearing her
Custom
custom
anime
COVID mask, her anime version of it, and she apparently couldn't find anything related to the design. So I was like, hey, well, why don't you toss them up for sale? But I think there might be some sort of
The
copyright
last
issues.
thing I want is Aniplex yelling at me because I love them because they produce all my favorite anime, so I don't want to be yelled at.
You don't
by
want them to hurt your feelings, and then you feel differently about them.
Pretty much.
Kind of like if you were the meet Alanis Morissette.
If Alanis Morissette yelled at me because I like produced like a picture of her on a shirt and sold it, and like all of a sudden I got a call from her legal team, I would be so sad. So no, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, that's terrible.
And also, I don't want to meet her.
That's terrible. I want to meet her.
I don't want to meet her, but she's not your idol.
I'll meet her without you. I know, so I don't really care.
It's not gonna break
She
your
hurts
heart.
my feelings or something.
Exactly.
I don't think she would. I think she's a very. She seems like a friendly person. I don't really care whether she's weird or not.
Yeah, I get the feeling that she's weird. You don't know. There's a saying: you shouldn't meet your idols. So
Yeah,
I guess our viewers will never meet us.
I've met a handful of mine. One of them I regret though, because they were not very friendly.
Oh, I remember that.
I was like, oh my god, it's this band.
And then you spilled beer all over one of their sample shirts.
Yeah, because I was fangirling it out, and then I spilled a beverage on one of their shirts, and then she looked at me like I threw up on it or something. I don't know. She wasn't friendly, and I was like, man, I'm not listening to their music anymore. And Shannon had bought me Shannon had bought me their album, and they signed it.
And it's for his birthday.
And it broke. She dropped it and broke it.
I did that night.
Before I even received it.
Yeah, before I gave it.
Is it okay? And I pulled it out the sleeve. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then later I went to go play it, and like a quarter of it was missing on the bottom.
Yeah, we had just started dating at that point.
I should have known. I should have known then.
Yeah.
That was gonna set the tone of you dropping and breaking stuff, and
3 weeks
unfortunately it was me that was spilly that night. But
well, I was still droppy. Okay, so it's 7:06. We can turn it over.
You were still droppy?
Yep.
Okay, you are correct. Let's go ahead and spin this over. Let's do it.
By my foot.
Oh, it's in the way. It's good to see everybody. Welcome to our little program that is the shop talk. Even though
I don't know why I just went with 4 fingers.
Impressions kind of stole our deal. It's cool.
What?
It's cool. Impressions. You know how they have the little seminars at the impression shows where it's the shop talk, and they've got a bunch of seats. And No, I researched it, and there wasn't anything that came up. So they didn't do their research, and we're gonna start our own booth called Shop Talk and give advice.
That sounds like way more effort than I need right now.
We can just give advice to people, and we'll see if we can't get some sponsors to hook it up with some presses or something like that.
Oh my god.
But that sounds like a lot of work. What happened?
Would you mind just
you want me to change the camera angle?
Yeah, well, at least for a second. I just realized I'm looking.
Why don't you raise your desk up or button your shirt up there a little bit?
I didn't realize, Jesus.
The viewership goes up. People attending.
Shut up, Matt.
I wonder why.
Oh God.
There you go. You want one of those cleavage bib things? I'm gonna order some for you. We can just make some real quick out of a t-shirt. We got plenty of them around. But we hope everybody had a great weekend. We hope your week went well. Let us know in the chat how your week's been going, how your weekend was. If things are getting better for your shop, if things have been kind of slow, hopefully things are picking back up. You know, speaking of talking about shops and all that, I'm going to switch this over to the chat so we can see.
Well, I already have a question.
Okay, cool. But one of the things that, you know what I thought about, Shannon, was actually doing some sort of kind of step-by-step help kind of thing. If your shop is slow, some of the things you can do while it is on the marketing side of things to kind of help your ranking with your website and all that. Some of the things that we've done in the past that have helped. And I mean, like, say for instance, thanks, Sign Commanders, we appreciate that. Thank you.
I hope it's not for the cleavage shop.
But I know Rybeats and Boats In have considered not screen printing anymore. I was like, what? Why?
Well, I know, right?
Because it's slow.
I didn't hear about Sin.
Because it's been slow for them. Yeah, she had posted a video, and I know she followed up. I hadn't had a chance to watch the video, but she followed up, and I know she's getting some more equipment, and maybe she's just doing the HTV and doing away with the screen printing side. I don't know. Sin, if you're tuning in, let us know. Let us know what's going on over there, and we hope things are getting better and picking up. I think something that a lot of screen printing YouTubers don't really think about is making t-shirts for sale. If they're slow, come up with the design and kind of go through the spiel of from start to finish. I think that would be really cool. And I've thought about doing that myself. Just we've been so busy with fulfilling other people's orders that I hadn't had time to do that. I think December and January would be a good time to do that. Although I was trying to do that this past uh, holiday with Michelle, but like some what do you call it, lapel mics, so that way we can make that happen. But then all of a sudden it was like bam, just slammed. All right, let's go over to the chat. You good with that, Shannon?
Sure, if we actually make it happen. I feel like, there's been a lot of, yeah, this is a great idea, let's do it, and then just, when the hell?
Well, there's only so much time in the day.
And that's like one of the things, like, I want to just, like, sometimes I'm like getting really frustrated with some of the clients and stuff because they'll call me. I'm like, I am only one person. I'll get to you. I promise. Just, I'm one person.
Shannon turned down a rush order today.
Yes,
and
I did.
I don't blame her.
No, I was just like, no, we're not doing it. Denied. Anyways, okay, so Chris has a question.
Okay.
Feasible to screen print with a 230 mesh, 4-color CMYK on a 1-color station, just 1 to 3 shirts. No.
Did you say no?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, yeah, you can do it.
It's feasible, but
you can do it 230. The thing is,
no, I just mean like 1 to 3 shirts screen printing.
Well, yeah. If you want to do those handful of shirts and just kind of get some experience under your belt with screen printing CMYK, go for it. You can do it to 230. It's just you're only going to be able to make, I'd say, somewhere around 45 LPI, depending on your exposure unit. You could go a little higher, maybe in the 50s. But yeah, give it a try.
My head is just in the part of the profit. I'm just like, no.
We did some CMYK stuff a couple, 2 or 3 weeks back, and the yellow I used a 230 mesh because I wanted the yellow to be brighter, and the black I used a 230 mesh as well. There wasn't a whole lot of black in there, but I wanted the outline to really be a pretty solid black. So nothing wrong. There's no exact standards when it comes to CMYK. You don't have to use a 305. If anything, it will allow you to really put that ink through with one hit. And the only thing you got to kind of watch out for is what they call gain. But if you're doing 2 or 3 shirts, then you're not going to have any issues with gain with the 230 mesh.
But see, this is the difference in like the way that you and I think. You're thinking about like the artistic, practical side, and I'm thinking about
whether someone would pay our prices to do
exactly
3 shirts with CMYK.
Yes.
No, I mean, this sounds like a situation where it's figuring it out.
But this is also why we balance each other.
Right. And, as far as whatever you're going to charge, I mean, that's up to you. I know I've done some jobs starting out where I took the job and then thought, how am I going to print this? And it was mainly like the spot process stuff at the time. First time I did a CMYK job was 100 shirts, and I had to get the inks. I'm like, I know I can do it. I can do it. It worked out. They were a little darker than I would have liked them to be, but everybody loved them, and it was a last minute thing where they put their order in Friday, and I had to have them ready the next day, so they couldn't really complain. Yeah, it was for a car show, Volkswagen car show. I had to do the design and everything.
I can say at this point though, that wouldn't be a feasible situation.
Mm-mm. So I had to drive the TSC and get the shirts,
Oh,
get the screens going, get the inks, design the artwork, which actually I didn't design the art. I outsourced it because my hands were full at the time, just trying to get everything sorted out, and they knocked it out pretty quickly. I think the guy charged me like $60 and did a pretty awesome job. They only had like one minor change. I think he didn't have anything like on the headlights, so yeah, I'd say try it, go for it.
okay.
Do it.
So hi Tim. Sorry.
What's up, Tim?
Wait, no, not sorry to Tim. Sign Commander says even though you don't answer the phones, I am okay. I apologize for that. I have been on the phone all day. Most likely, I was on the phone with somebody else.
Did he call after 6 or was it?
I don't know. There were like a million calls, and then the moment 6 o'clock rolled around, I was still on the phone, and I just went, "Peace out. I'm done. I'm done. My throat hurts, and I still actually have to do it. I still have to talk for an hour."
Did we land that one job that someone called after hours and you had answered and they're wanting shirts? You remember that? Or they left a message, I think, and you called them back.
Yeah, we landed it. We had a meeting today while you
Oh,
were on.
is that who? I saw them.
Yeah.
A couple ladies.
Yeah, we landed it.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Raglan's.
Sweet. Cool.
Yeah, I know.
Even better.
Only 12 of them, too.
How many colors is it?
2.
2 colors?
2 colors.
Is it the white body raglan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I showed up and I was so one of the things I was doing around the shop today was just trying to get things organized, like all the storage bins that we had hanging around by the press. I decided it was just time to get a storage space and start storing some things away. Got like a little 5x5 storage space, and move some things to the storage space so we can get some of our space back, because we've outgrown our current space. However,
It's not time yet.
It is, but not.
I meant like within the fiscal year.
Right. With the whole pandemic and all that definitely hampered things, and then our little situation that went on with the clients not wanting to pay, that also changed some things, because I mean that's part of our capital that we need to just run our business. And I was like, that could have went towards possibly thinking about bigger space and or other things, but I'm not gonna say do all these what ifs kind of thing. We just just do the best with what we got, and which we can't really complain where we're at this moment. So
if I can pick and choose and not take a rush order for the day because I'm just like, no, then I think we're in an okay spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so Red wants to know, hold on, it's like moving forward. Red wants to know, he loves our show, thank you.
Thank you.
Quick question, don't know if you've talked about this, but what order organizer / shop software do you use?
You want to answer this one?
Well, yeah, we use Printavo, and then there's me following behind Matt like a clucking chicken. Going, bah, 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 bah. Did you get to this?
Saying that this needs to go out today, and I'm like, what? No, that's not going out today. Well, I'll say that Printavo's definitely been helpful in just kind of keeping things organized. there's a certain extent towards where on the management side of things is us really kind of analyzing how many colors are in a job, how many shirts, like our prep time. We're dialing that in with how things were before. In other words, we probably would print maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week, and now it's like we need to be printing every day. And
Is Mario still here?
he is. I believe Mario's still here. So Mario's here reclaiming screens at the moment.
I think he's doing the tag thingy.
What's that?
I think.
Oh yeah. So he's screen printing the tags. So that will be all finished up. And the crazier things get, it's like the harder it is to kind of manage everything, because
I was actually telling Michelle, I think we're at a cap right now for at least for the moment of orders we can take while giving a reasonable deadline.
Right. And even Michelle's been pretty slammed with artwork requests, like custom art. And not only that, I mean, she's still doing the mock-ups and everything, and on the phone with clients. Justin, what's up, Justin? I don't know if he's tuned in. Normally he says hi.
He said he'd say hi.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much, she could be here. She is part-time, but if she were here Monday through Friday, I think she still would be catching up with things.
I don't want to ask her to do that just yet, though, because she did say in the beginning, she's like, I don't care what I'm doing. I just want to be able to paint.
Right. Talking to her today, though, I was like, so what did you, because I'll ask her how her weekend is, and she's like, I worked. Her weekend for hers
Thursday. That's it.
Thursday. That's the only day she has off, and I think she's kind of bored with it a little bit, maybe in the sense that she's still doing painting, but they're not anything challenging, I would say.
And it's more instructing, semi-drunk women.
And they're is it mostly women? We still need to go and do our thing.
It's always mostly women.
Right. Or women bringing their dude out so they can have a date night kind of thing. But I imagine she probably tells you a lot more about it than I know about it. So
Not
you
really.
would know.
She really doesn't.
She doesn't talk about it?
No, she's just like, I went to work. I have a script. It was a full class.
Oh yeah. We're trying to get Michelle on the live. I'll poke at her.
I knew it was gonna be Tommy.
Oh really? But I'll poke at her here and there. We're like, hey, Michelle's gonna stay for the live because she was here until about 6:35.
Mostly because you hijacked the computer.
Well, she was on her tablet drawing.
She was still very distracted.
Not that much. I could see that.
Michelle, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I wanted a little bit of
I'm just saying she was distracted.
Reassurance from not just me being like, oh yeah, that's great.
Why didn't you ask me?
Be like, it's because you were over there and you couldn't see.
I was over there.
You were sitting.
I pieced out.
You were sitting on the futon behind me.
Yeah.
Do you have your contacts in?
Yes. Well, one.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so we have more questions and stuff.
Okay, more questions and stuff. Let's get to that stuff.
Okay, so Scoop says she knows how I feel. Thank you. It's nice to be empathized with. Hey Lee.
What's up, Lee?
Sin.
What's up, Sin?
Chris says, super thanks. Wants to start printing his own shirts for his own brand, but he doesn't want to sell a lot. Just want to start with the one color station to see if I'll like it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good way
Jose said hi to Sin, but not to us, so.
Well, he's here, so that's all that matters. Hanging out.
George says that even though he's not fully functional to screen print shirts, he's started getting orders for making sublimated masks, which is good. More power to you.
Yeah, that is awesome.
We're gonna have to start getting some mask palettes because we've got like 5 orders for masks.
We need to figure out like tomorrow what to do about that. Whether we're gonna order some.
I think we should. Okay.
Because they're not cheap, and we need 10 of them.
Or we could just start out like.
We're gonna start out with 1 and let it go around the press a bunch of times.
I was gonna just doing it manually. Go back to old school, dude. Anyways, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We got
just real quick, but we have one job that already has like 8 colors in it that we just can't do on the manual.
Well, that is unfortunate.
I was thinking about perhaps like screen printing heat transfers for that, and then we can just press them. That might work.
That might. All right, we'll figure it out.
No, we got to. Mister.
We'll talk about it over dinner.
Okay.
Tommy, he actually had texted me about this earlier. He said Saturday we took Saturday organized merch. They have about 4K in inventory that we are now pushing. I'm not allowed to order anymore. Absolutely not. Just use what you can in your inventory for the orders that come in, honestly. And pick and choose what you're going to be ordering. Why do you even have that much? Seriously.
4,000 shirts in inventory?
4,000K. Like money.
Right. Oh, okay. Got you. I understand. Yeah. Got you now. Okay.
Why do you have that much extra?
Tommy,
come on.
That's good because then he doesn't have to. He can do last minute stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Use those for the orders that come in. It'll all balance out.
Yeah, use them for your last minute things, and
use it for everything you can.
I don't know what Tommy's shop looks like, but if you got a lot of people
he has nicer bins than us.
That walk in, I'm sure. Anybody's got nicer bins than us. But for walk-ins, yeah, I mean to have that inventory on hand is, I'm sure, very beneficial. So, good job. We have 0 in inventory. The inventory we have is like.
We're also 20 minutes away from our vendor, though.
Orders that, yeah, that's true. Orders that people place, and then the rest of them are like shirts that we use for doing test prints.
I don't understand. I don't understand how we never run out of test prints.
Because I really don't. We'll botch up an order, and then that's our test print shirts.
I feel like that would mean we botched up a lot.
No, because all you have to do is botch up one order for 50 shirts every once in a blue moon, and then we have shirts lying around.
I felt really bad about that one order about the TSC about the box missing.
Like, say for example, we did that Triblin order for
Angela,
and it was a couple hundred shirts, and those shirts, I think I went through like the last couple of those shirts, and that was how long ago? Well over a year and a half ago?
No.
At least.
I was going to say 6 months.
No way. It wasn't this year.
We also had a debate the other night about whether or not it was 30 minutes or 5 minutes, and turns out I was correct.
30 minutes or 5 minutes for what?
I don't know, whatever it was. We have debates on time thinking a lot. Anyways, so.
Anywho.
Inkings! It's been a while.
Yeah, what you been up to? You know, we hadn't seen around a little while.
Oh, Lee! He can't wait to see the finished product for his shirts. He's one of the orders for, I believe, this week.
Okay, with which job? Stop it, Paul. Sorry if I don't know, because at this point I'm like, I'm gonna be out there printing.
it's a high color. I remember that. It's like one of the 8 colors or something.
Okay, yeah, I'm there. I know there's some 8 colors in
We
line.
have like
I'm just like
4 8 colors due this week.
I'm pretty excited about these high color jobs because I don't know. It's cool. It's cool seeing it go from it being on screen to a printed product where it's like, man, that looks cool. And there's a lot of times that we see jobs like Lee's roll through and we're like, I want one.
Oh, Michelle is super excited about Justin's because she's already planning on ordering a certain shirt for herself.
Oh yeah, the art that she drew up.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the one with the open chest with the candle in it?
Skeleton lady, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
really wants. But now that Justin like is like putting a pin in it until until the end of the week, she's like, I'm just super sad that we're not getting started on that one because I really want that shirt.
So we're not doing that one until later this week.
Well, I'm not gonna say the circumstances of it. He probably wouldn't appreciate that, but
I think I know what it is.
Does it have to do with gambling?
No.
Then you
but
don't.
I knew it involved money.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not gonna say it like actually out here because
you just did.
Awesome. Well, nope, not really, not really.
Okay. Well, you just use your imagination then, and I can pretty much fill in the blank over here. I can imagine what's gone on.
All right, so they're all saying hi to each other. Tim wants to know if we're still working on this separation software that you prematurely announced.
Yes, definitely.
Really?
I am, and I have been working on it. It's I kind of want to just go ahead and release it the way it is. I was wanting to put a little more time into getting some beta testers and all that. And
the Daytona race team. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Is that the one with the black race car?
We have like 3 racing ones.
Do we? I don't know anymore. I don't know what's.
No, we got Micah, we got Lee.
Until we have, until it's like the day that I need to print it. I don't know what's what anymore. I used to know every single little thing that's rolling through here. Now I'm just like,
well, it's coming too fast for me to tell you about it.
I don't know. You'll have me take a look at artwork and...
Yeah, well, I can't talk to you over the power wash to let you know what's going on because either you're reclaiming screens or you're printing, and I can't talk to you over that stuff.
It's all good. I go through Printavo and make sure, keep an eye on what's coming in and how much screen prep is ahead. Because I can take a look at the calendar and you know, if there's like 3 jobs for a particular day where it's like they're all 6+ colors, I'm like, let's see if we can make it happen. But there's a lot of, it might be time for a what do they call that? One of those tri-lock style systems for the Anatol. I know they make their version of it. I forget what it's called. But it might be time for one of those where, you know what that is, Shannon?
Yes. Do not quiz me here, but yes.
It's not about quizzing you.
No, I do know.
So I mean, it would just help speed it up so that way there's minimal amount of downtime when it comes to registering things up. Even if you can quickly just put the screens in there, lock it down. If you know, if it's a hair out, it's pretty easy just to adjust it. I've kind of changed the way I go about registering things. I know you guys have probably seen me put down the clear transfer tape and then go to each station and make sure it's spot on. Now I'll do the white base, go around to each station, get it close, and then we'll just let it go around the press and then take a look at the registration marks and be like, oh yeah, this needs to move, that needs to move. We'll make those moves, turn the shirt around, print on the back, and by the time we do that, we're pretty dialed in, just depending on how good we are that day with, making our micro adjustments without overshooting it. You know what I'm talking about?
Not particularly.
You know what I'm saying? Mario could tell you. Anyhow, let's go over to the chat.
Okay, so from what I can see, Chris says that he's okay wearing a Gildan 2000 tee. Are customers usually okay with them? Any tees you recommend for nicer streetwear blanks? Honestly, I've just straight up headed to just quoting for a soft style at this point. I really have. Just
because that right now they're
almost neck and neck. I'd say like after markup, maybe 50 cents. I don't really remember because I haven't done the 2000 in so long, but everyone just seems so much happier
with the soft style.
Yeah, so I kind of just
it's a little bit nicer.
I mean, there is a price difference, but there for a while there, like they were almost the exact same price. I think they've gone down. I haven't checked because I've just been going with the soft style, and I honestly, and I've explained that to some people, like 50 cents to $1 difference.
If even that.
Yeah, if even that. Like I try to hedge my bets. Okay.
They're like a quarter.
I'm hedging.
I would say that, like, say for example, before the price of the soft styles went down so much, we used to just kind of base, if they didn't tell us and they were kind of on a budget, we would base things off of a 2000. If they were still kind of like, is there anything you can do to bring it down a little bit? Like, yeah, we can do a 5000 or a PC company. 54.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing wrong with, like, I always kind of use that as a default shirt because
soft styles become my default.
Right, and I agree. But 2000s they're a good quality shirt. I mean, they're a knitted shirt, a little boxier. If they're cool with that, then
it's just in Houston, though, you want to give them something a little lighter.
Right.
Because it's so freaking hot.
It is.
It's so hot.
That or we'll, if we know that they're going to be working out in the heat, we'll say 8,000.
Yeah, we'll do the blend if it's going to be people that are going to be outside. And blends are my go-to for polos. Just because everybody loves them.
Normally it's some sort of person that's out in the field constantly. Like one of our clients was asking about caps, and he said, man, is there any caps that this won't happen on? And he just had a salt stain at the top of his caps that he couldn't wash out. He's like, man, I washed them, and what I've been doing is putting...
When was that?
That was Mike. That was when he came and picked his shirts up, and he was...
Oh,
he was like in a super good mood, and then he no, you were here.
No, I was in here. It must have been when you were talking out there.
Yeah, he pulled up and I saw him because I was like, I was wondering who it was that was pulling up, and he rolled up and I was just in a good mood. Well, he's never like in a bad mood or anything.
But anyways, to answer the second part of your question, streetwear, I would go with either a hammer or a beefy tee.
Yeah, those hammer tees are
they're box. They've got the boxy thing.
They're also soft.
Yeah, they're rings. They're both of them are ring spun, but they've got like a heavier knit and they're more, I guess, that.
All Style's a good one too. A lot of the streetwear people love the All Style shirts.
I hate All Style.
But that's your own personal. That's you putting your.
Well, yes.
Your preference over
he
theirs.
He asked for like what I would suggest.
Well, there you go.
There you go. I would not suggest all style. I think they feel weird.
I would say all style or the hammer, depending on what texture they want on their shirt. Some people prefer that knitted,
abrasive.
Yeah, I mean for the streetwear
like soapstone thing that's gonna actually give you.
It's gonna
exfoliate your skin.
I don't know. Some people, we've shown people a soft style and the ultra cotton, and there's been people that have wanted the ultra cotton.
And I've never understood it.
It's the texture thing.
I don't like the texture.
I don't want the soft shirt.
Who wouldn't want a soft shirt?
The people that want with the 2000.
I know, and that's how I don't get it. Anyways, I have my opinions, and that's a little bit more objective, but this is, my main part that I deal with. So I'm just like, no, trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
To me, I think that they all have their place as far as style goes, and streetwear wise, I'm a little more knowledgeable when it comes to the streetwear stuff and the budget. Well, no, you're pretty good at the budget stuff too. But you're going after the lady soft on my skin.
Why can't you be street fashionable and comfy at the same time?
Because the streets are hard, Shannon. Go find me a comfy spot in the street.
I actually, when I was in San Antonio, I walked past this kid. He was obviously homeless, but he had stolen one of the really, really nice pillows out of the 4-star that was right across from where he was sleeping.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And my mom and I both passed by and going, "That's a really nice pillow."
Maybe it was a toss out. Maybe it was a toss out.
Maybe, but it was still a very nice pillow for a homeless guy.
Yeah.
He liked being soft.
Might have been a soggy pillow he found and was like, I'm taking this.
I'm just saying, that was an expensive pillow that he managed to find somehow, which I'm thinking probably was tossed out because I can't imagine them letting him in.
Yeah.
But see, though, he still, even if it was soggy, he still wanted the soft. Anyways, let's go back to the chat.
The pillow's a little different. A little bit.
I watched the kids stomp all over the pillows for $100 a piece.
Moving on. Your pillows.
They're important. Aw, Jason.
What'd Jason say?
I'm pretty.
I had something I was gonna say, but I'll just. Because you're talking about pillows.
Anyways, can you read them in as I'm flustered?
What am I doing? I'm taking over the chat. Is that what you want me to do?
Just for a second.
Why? What's wrong? What happened?
You.
We want to see you blush.
Although it's kind of hard.
It's hard to tell with the pink wall behind you, though.
I know, right? It's because of all the coloring.
You over it now?
Amanda, this may be a stupid question, but I was wondering how you find shirt vendors near her location.
Just so the vendors that we go through are, your TSC apparel, your S&S. Just see what. You can do a search near me, apparel vendor. There's also, like here in Houston, there is a place that sells wholesale shirts. I've never gone there yet, but we have, I know that
yeah, there's a couple we need to check out.
Wayne gets his there and they're open on the weekends as well.
I know.
It's more
and
like
I should have written it down.
Flea market type stuff. I think they're off of Harwin or something like that. I forget what the name of the place is called, but it's almost like flea market type of deal. and you might want to look for some flea markets if you have flea markets around, and just I don't know, look for some bargains. You see a bargain, just grab some.
But Amanda, for me personally, like a lot of the vendors we use four main vendors. They are Sanmar, SNS, Alpha Broder, and TSC, and they have places all over the country.
There's another
so there's
place.
a chance that you're going to get something, if not in your actual driving distance, you might be able to find something that you can get within a day.
Yeah, like 1 day shipping. And we hardly go visit our vendors. We always get everything shipped to us.
We don't have time.
Right, and the 1 day shipping, even though they're 20 minutes down the road, it's the time traveling back and forth isn't worth it. And I used to do that
and we
quite
do
a bit.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the first things that I think I changed in the business structure, because you were like, I have to go get these shirts, and I was like, why?
Get the shirts, and I would also drop them off.
Yeah, and I was like, why?
I don't know, it was just of building those relationships with clients and the vendor relationship.
But I could see it just taking up so much of your time that I was just like, no, you just add that to the cost of the shirt, and guess what? Didn't hurt you.
No, not at all. The prices were cheap as it was, and didn't raise the prices up as well. So, in that, and we didn't really lose a whole lot of clients when we did raise the prices. We kept a lot of them, and the ones that didn't like the price change, I wouldn't necessarily say
half
that
of them
they were
came back anyways.
I wouldn't say that they were the kind of clients that you want. You don't want to be bargaining
They're the ones that
all the time.
Yeah, the bargain ones. They were the ones that you're spending too much time with anyways.
Like I can think of one of the bargain people that Mario's out there printing right now. That was a bargain thing, and it's just because I've done business with them before, but also
not since I've been here.
We had well, exactly. See, it's been a while, and had took the order on when it was like the pricing negotiation came up when the country was shut down. Then it took about a month to actually get the payment in, and we got really busy, and I was like, well, it's not a priority because we did shave off quite a bit. It took time for the payment to come in, and not only that, getting the proof approved took some time as well. But I can't.
Right, but it was hard for me though. We talked about this last night too. It was hard for me because I was on the end of the ugly phone calls.
And I get that.
So I'm just like, and like I even had to talk to Michelle. I was like, look, if he calls, I'm gone. I can't. I'm not taking any more abuse for something that I am completely impotent over.
Well, we'll get everything all caught up and sorted out, because I think that I need to be available to help out more with that part, because they want to talk to me, and I'm just like, I can't.
That's actually something that's been really weird about lately. Is everyone's been specifically wanting to talk to you, like even new clients stuff. Like, no, I want to talk to the owner, and I'm just like, I'm here. I can answer your questions.
And it's hard for me to do that when I'm stuck behind the press or doing, if I'm constantly on the phone or whatever. And there's a lot of times where I'm needed because it might be figuring out how many colors are in a print, or someone wants to say hello, not even really knowing that we're on YouTube,
this point.
And it just takes away from the production end of things, and which is why we got Mario and
he's taking care of that order that we just talked about. All right,
Mhm.
let's go look at the chat because I know it's been a hot
yes,
minute. Hi, Eddie.
Eddie Jr. What's up?
Karen.
What's up, Karen? Karen. It's funny because
Uproar.
on my,
Wow.
what's up, Uproar?
It's like spotting a unicorn.
He had a we had a Uproar is really cool, and he's definitely one of those people where like his son is the same age as our daughter, or close to it.
They had a blast.
Oh yeah, they had a blast. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Sidetracked, and anyways. Oh, Karen, yeah, she was like.
Oh, Jason says you're pretty too.
Thanks, Jason. But Karen had mentioned, she's like, wow, because I have uploaded some videos to my personal channel about car stuff and what I'm working on the car, and I don't think there's a lot of people that know that I'm a music guy, like musician. They don't like really know the extent to how long I've been playing, the music scene that I've been in for quite some time. I've taken a break from a lot of that stuff to do this, to grow the business, and YouTube's been filling a lot of that, the creative kind of outlet. But I write my own tunes, have played music. I had to do the math on it. It's been like 28 years that I've been playing. And then there's the car side of me, in which I like doing hot rods and whatnot, and kind of got the itch to do something because it's been a few years, which is why my daily driver, the engine's like pulled out. But
now we just use mine.
My engine's completely taken apart. Wayne Ornstar, he's gonna go tomorrow. Wayne and I are going to go drop the engine off to his buddies so they can do the machine work, and I can put it back together and start building some boost. Anyhow, screen printing questions, Shannon. Screen printing questions. We got any?
I have no scrolling arm.
Apollo, come here. Oops, wrong.
Ideas never sleep. First off, cool name.
Yeah.
It's his first time catching the stream. Do you recommend using just one design size for all shirts, or scaling up the design for larger shirts and making a separate set of screens?
It depends on how many. When you say, Shannon?
I'd say how much money do they have to spend?
Yeah, because we basically price it out towards where if they have youth shirts and they want the design to be, they kind of want it scaled for the adults and the youth shirts, then
toddlers always get a different one.
Right, always. And we'll bill it towards where it's essentially a separate job if they're wanting the smaller print on the youth and or toddler shirts. Generally, most people, I would say, are like scale it to the size that will work on everything, and we
which
can,
is fun when it's like a youth extra small through 4XL.
Yeah, we for the most part we get by fine going all the way down to a youth extra small. I mean,
only if it's Gildan.
You can, yeah, if it's Port and Company, it won't fit on the press.
Hanes too. Hanes extra small
well.
youth will
so
not fit.
We can do 12 inches wide by about 14 inches high, which generally is fine for most of our clients, because that's a pretty good size print, aside from the people that want, their print to be like 18 inches high and 15 inches wide. That's when it's like, okay, no. That Hunger Games kind of knockoff with the toilet paper rolls, that was something where the design was really tall. It was about 16 inches long, or tall, I should say, 10 inches
Are you
wide.
serious? I didn't charge for that.
Well, it wasn't an oversized print or anything like that. That's
Anything over 15 is.
well, no, it was fine. It was fine. It's oversized once we start.
See, he's the
going
nice one. I
the
get greedy.
It's when it's the width, in my opinion, is once we get past the 12 by 15. 12 by 16 is fine. We'll even do 18 inches tall at times. But if they want something that's, pretty much the biggest print size we can do on the Anatol, then yeah, we got to be compensated for making that happen. But yeah, there was a youth extra small with that order, and like, we can't print on that. It's not even gonna fit on the press. And it was either 5 or 6 colors in that design, and we can only do 4 colors on our manual. So
Oh crap! I forgot to tell him.
what about the one?
Yeah,
Well, I put it on top. I'm pretty sure he figured it out.
I know, but I should have told him.
Yeah. All right, let's see if there's any more questions. We're getting down to about 4 more minutes of the Q&A live stream here. Shannon? Okay, I'll go through.
Oh, sorry.
You're going to see if there's any more questions or something we can get to quickly? I think is it mostly chat? Everybody's chatting it
Uproar
up.
is laughing that he's a unicorn. Tommy says Shannon greed is good. Jason wants to know if he's been printing. Uproar has been printing. Apollo is barking at me. I am okay. Let me go up a little bit. You want to just read through what I've missed? Because I'm like...
I think that's it, because
I'm so
everybody's
done with
kind of
screens today.
putting in their 2 cents on the sizing and everything. Ideas, preference, up to you or the customer. Just explain it. Added costs, gotcha. So Jason ends, and everybody's kind of stepping in a little bit and putting in their advice and everything.
Basically, like, just to bounce off of that, my advice is just be transparent as possible. Like, yeah, we can do these sizes, just like what you were saying about the comments. We can do those sizes. It's gonna cost you a lot more.
Yeah,
Be aware.
And also, I've seen the comments about a 3XL. Like, once you start getting into the 2XLs, it could use a bigger print if you're thinking about it, like, proportional wise. But I'd say it's not very often where someone's like, hey, can you scale it? We have had a client that thought each print was going to be kind of scaled proportionate to the shirt. And I was like, no, I mean, we'd have to price it out as a separate. And what helps too is just kind of walking them through the process. And like I tell them, it takes about, from the time we reclaim the screen, code it, expose it, and it's up on press and the job's running off, it takes about 40 to 50 minutes time per screen. And I let them know that.
Where'd it go?
Show them how it works. I'll just walk them out in the shop and say, once we burn it to the screen, that's it. I mean, we'd have to bill you for a whole different set of screens, $20 a screen. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, then it's fine. So we just base the sizing off of what tends to work for the front. There's the back print will generally do about 11-12 inches wide, front print 9 to 10 inches wide, and wherever it falls height wise, that's just kind of how we
Michelle and I
explain
had
things.
a fun time today trying to explain to a client what the term proportional meant.
What? Say that again?
We had a fun time trying to explain to a client about what proportional meant. He's like, "Can you do it?" Because it was a square print.
Right.
He's like, "Can you do it maybe 11 by 13?" And Michelle goes, "No."
At that point, you scale it up to 11 inches, and you're just like, yeah,
She's like, this will look terrible. No. And she like just, and I've never heard her be like that on the phone before. She just went, no. That will look terrible.
She's like, just cut and dry.
Yeah. I think she's kind of getting the idea of like, just when to like,
yeah, she's getting a little jaded with the customer service end of things. Well, gang, we are gonna get out of here. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe if you're checking us out later. Again, let us know what questions you have down in the comments. We got some other tutorials and whatnot, and some videos coming up this week as I get some time to go back and edit these things. And we appreciate all y'all for tuning in. We hope y'all have a good week, and we'll see you during the next live, and we'll see y'all later.
Love you guys, hearts.
Oh, I need to put my outro music on. Where's that? Oh, there it is.
You're dropping
all
the
right,
ball,
gang.
dude.
We'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys.